Are you ready to turn your backyard into a bloom-filled wonderland? Forget the tea, we're spilling the dirt on how to make your flowers last longer, both in and outdoors. Thanks for that laughter.
It was really good. You nailed that pun. Stephanie Kirby of Blue Daisy Floral Designs is here to help us get started. So happy to see you again.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Your setup is gorgeous.
Thank you.
We'd like to start, because we were just talking about this as we were leading into the segment, about deer and maybe some things that we can plant, because I think that so many people in Western PA struggle with this.
It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. And they're getting worse and worse. So the best thing you can do is plant things that have high scent. So herbs, yeah, butterfly bushes, things that are really scented, they usually tend to stay away from. Things with fuzzy leaves too, a lot of times they don't like.
Okay,
so
good to know.
Those are some places to start.
And you have a lot of arrangements here, and some of them, as I'm looking close, are a little non-traditional.
Yes.
This is tomato right here.
Entirely tomato plants. I harvested those from my garden.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
So are these, will these still bear fruit, or they're
No,
done?
they're cut off. So you should pull back your tomatoes just to thin them so they don't get diseased. So we came back from vacation and our tomatoes were just crazy.
Just overgrown, yeah.
So I went in and just trimmed them out and used them as a beautiful foliage arrangement, and they smell so good.
You
Yeah.
can still see some of the, the flowers.
And you
it's so cool.
And you figured out this way to sort of mix things that maybe more traditionally belong in it, because I'm seeing like ferns and just different, I don't even know what these leaves are. Then you have some echinacea in here and some hydrangea. So how do you make it all cohesive?
Well, so I don't stick to just annuals or perennials. I head for the shrubs too. So there's Weigela foliage in there. The fuzzy guys spilling over the end are actually clematis, the seed heads from clematis.
Oh.
So pulling from different areas and breaking it up so it's not just floral, and then telling a color story is really important too.
I'm always torn when you actually start to get some blooms on something, actually cutting them so that you can enjoy them inside and maybe a little bit longer. I know a lot of the weather recently has done a lot of damage to gardens, so maybe bringing them in is actually better.
Yeah.
How do we if we're cutting them, keep them longer?
So on the plant outside
or
or
if we're bringing
inside?
them inside to put in a vase?
If you're going to bring them inside in a vase, you want to cut in the morning, because that's when they're the most turgid. That's when they have the most moisture in them. So cut in the morning, and then cut so that you can leave some on the plant. So if there was another shoot coming out here, you would cut it right there. I can actually show you a little bit better on the tomato. So if you want to cut, you could cut this guy off, and that way your plant is still growing.
Right.
And then take all of the leaves off that are going to be in the water before you put them in the water too. Because if you have foliage in the water, it'll create bacteria and the flowers will die sooner.
Right.
So that'll help them last longer in the house too.
What temperature water do you put them in? That's what I always wonder about.
Room temperature.
Room temperature.
Okay.
You don't want to shock them with too hot or too cold. If they're a super woody stem, something like a woody hydrangea or a lilac, then you can use hot water, because that'll help open up the pores of the plant essentially.
And then tell me about the cutting, because I've always heard cut on an angle. But is that accurate? Do you need to do that?
It's helpful, because if you imagine a straw, if you cut it flat, there's not as much surface area to drink. If you cut it on an angle,
like boba straws.
like a boba straw,
Yeah.
exactly. So then it has more opportunity to drink.
Oh, look at that.
There's a myth out there too that you should smash the stems of your woody plants.
Yes.
Terrible idea. It's kind of like smashing the end of your straw. It doesn't work as well, right? So cutting is always better. And you can always cut up
into it if you need to.
Yeah, to give it more surface area to drink.
Okay.
Wow.
That is
Now,
really neat.
last year I started planting zinnias, which are really easy, and I have a little cutting garden now. Is there any other flowers you'd recommend that are easy to plant outside if you want to make a little cutting garden?
So I love perennials because they'll come back year after year. So echinacea is phenomenal because you get lots of blooms on them, and then you have and you have the seed heads afterwards that create a lot of interest too. Celosias are great late summer bloomers too for in your pots, and people don't think about begonias and things like that too. You can cut,
I just figured out the double begonias are
yeah,
they're
Maybe
easier to grow than ranunculus. I gotta tell you, and they're
Ranunculus
beautiful.
are tough, yeah.
Really quick, what is this?
That's a flower frog.
And what does that do?
So this sits down in there. It's very heavy, and it has little pins on it. And this is an old school floral design technique. And what you can do is actually use that in shallow dishes to
So it helps with your display.
Yeah.
And allows the water to come through.
So you can just use a little dish at home.
Genius.
I love that.
Beautiful. Stephanie, thank you so much.
so welcome.
Really great
Thank you
stuff.
so much. Well, if you'd like to learn more about the Blue Daisy Floral Designs, we'll have more information on our website, kdk.com/talkpittsburgh.